Hey guys, you're probably wondering why I've gathered you here today. Well, it's to talk about a reworked item that lets you get over 1.5k HP in Realm of the Mad God. By the way, you should subscribe because I've heard subscribing to me gives you one extra kendo stick of luck, which is pretty insane. Anyways, let's get on to the real topic of today's video, the Quartermaster's scabbard. The Quartermaster's scabbard is a UT Kensei sheath that drops from Davy Jones' locker. It used to give you % stacking vitality, which was kinda neat, but pretty useless compared to % attack, and at some point in the recent past, was reworked by Deca. I'm not sure if I missed the patch notes or what exactly or when exactly, but it seems kinda broken now, because now it gives % max HP. This is way better than the old % vitality, and raises some interesting questions. The first one I have is, just how high does your max HP go? Like how does the scaling work, especially when you consider stuff like the relative HP enchants? So I grabbed all the highest HP gear I had and got on my stacks and did some math to back it up. And I found out the following. First, HP stacking applies in this order. The very first thing is all your items' base HP amounts, your base HP amount, and exalts are added together. Relative HP enchants scale off of that max number and add to it to make a new max number, and the Kensei sheath scales off of that final number. And then paladin buffs or other raw HP boosts are added at the very end. This looks like X plus rel % times sheath plus 100 to 150 depending on the buffs you have, nil drops, paladin seals, or even the new Christmas consumables. So the real question is just how high can we get our base HP? On Kensei, your base life maxes out at 720, your exalts give 25, there are no katanas that give HP, the sheath gives 30, Quartermaster scabbard. The breastplate of new life from MBC gives 160, and a T6UB HP gives 180. This gives us a new base of 720 plus 25 plus 30 plus 160 plus 180 equals 1,115. Technically, there are sheaths that give more HP than the scabbard, but they don't give any bonus. And then the Deca gives 190 HP, but it can't get the relative HP enchant, so it's actually not as good as the T6UB HP with relative life. With a base max of 1,115, we apply the relative HP enchant for plus 5% since our armor can't have it, which gives a new total of 1,171 HP, and then we add the sheath for an additional 30%, giving a max HP with 5 stacks of the sheath before your paladin buff or nil drop or Christmas consumables of 1,522 HP. And from here, we'll add the max buff of 150 for a maximum possible HP of 1,672. Now, theoretically, you can crank that higher because according to the wiki, if multiple HP boosts are used on top of each other, they start to apply at reduced rates, and multiple of the same. So like 3 paladins each have a seal, or you use 3 Christmas consumables. The first one's at 100%, second's at 50, third's at 25, fourth's at like 12.5, etc. So if you got a bunch of paladins in one spot and had them buff you up, and had your stacks at 5, and had all the optimum gear, theoretically you could break 1,700 HP, but it's questionable. Now, unfortunately, I don't and didn't have a T6 HP wearing with an enchant or a breastplate of new life, so I can't show you that. But with my normie gear, I was able to get all the way to just shy of 1.4k HP. And then I died in Woodland Labyrinth, so I can't make more footage. So what you see now is the best footage that I've got. Anyways, this brings us to the question of, hey, Deca, this is OP, you need to nerf it now, right? Well, not really. The first issue with this is that to keep this high max HP, because most of it comes from your sheath, which is most useful in the hard bosses and patience phases, you have to be refreshing your stacks constantly. They only last 10 seconds, and you need 5, so you have to be dashing through the boss every 2 seconds, because adding another stack doesn't actually refresh the duration of any previous. They'll all fall off super quick. So you have to be dashing through the boss or some enemy every 2 seconds to maintain the max stacks. This is hard to do just with timing and mana issues, and it's super risky because most bosses put shotguns out constantly, which makes this sheath not ideal for any endgame situations because the risk is too high, and you have to consider that the sheath kind of has terrible damage. In addition to that, the max HP stacks don't actually give you the HP, so you have to regen it naturally, which makes it a lot less useful. And finally, there appears to be a bug similar to that the current Crucible has, where each time you gain a stack, your HP will reset back to its original amount. So let's say your base HP is 1000, and the first and second stats give you 1.1k, the 1.2k, the 1.3k, just to make up some numbers. So you get your first stack, your HP goes from 1000 to 1100, and you're healing up to it. You get to your new cap of 1100 current and max HP, and you dash through something. Now, all this should do is change your max HP to 1200, but instead, it changes your max HP to 1200 and drops your current HP back to the base value of 1000, which means now you have to heal back up all the way to 1200, and if you keep getting stacks, your HP keeps resetting back. And that's really bad because when you have to get a new stack every 2 seconds, if there was any use for it, this throws it all away because you don't actually get to keep the HP for any significant amount of time unless you're maintaining 5 stacks consistently, which is again very, very hard to do. So with how difficult it is to maintain this buff, how buggy it is anyways, and how little DPS this sheath provides, it's likely it will stay a troll item for now. The only real use for it is actually in the channel, because when you start your dash sequence and you first use it to get your 3 charges, it actually drops a decoy on your location, which has some usefulness, I think. Not a lot, especially if you have like a competent trickster, but a little bit. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was really fun for me to put together because I thought of it during my 24-hour charity stream. That was a good brain moment. Huge thanks to my patrons as always. Remember to subscribe if you haven't yet, but until next time, keep it beefy, boys. I'll see you later.